As you guys can see, I'm not going into like the absolute like grittiest of details because I don't want this to be a 5-hour stream. I feel like I can get the point across by just showing roughly what the variation is supposed to do from a gameplay perspective, as opposed to like absolute specifics of what it's capable of. I feel like for a variation should be about, these are the moves, so you instantly know this is the kind of game it's supposed to play, right? This is what this variation is meant to do. And that's the side of it that I want to explain. Because the thing is, I also don't want to go into too much detail because we don't know, these probably aren't even going to be the variations that are used. So I kind of want to make sure I keep it, you know, open for more discussion as well. Oh god, they could make Sonya well annoying. They could make her proper annoying, and I'll show you why. These moves right here. The turret! The turret! And Cassie. Now. There we go. Now, I was thinking about this, and I can see them making her super flashy. With this. I think this? Probably? The question is which one of the ricochets. I think maybe the bounce, because it fits in with the theme of the kind of like, you know, the energy. Okay, let's go with this. This is the one that I think. This is the one that I think. Okay, let's go.
SONYA. CASSIE Cage. Tournament.
So, Sonya, I think, has a lot of potential for a variation built around the turret as a priority. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking already. Let me show you. This is a there's a 3-slot variation right here, all about the turret. The whole point of this is summon the turret and then make the turret shoot things. This is one of the strongest keep away tools I think I've ever seen in this game. You take into account her universal ability to zone with pretty much just the ring blast by itself. You know, the ring blast being this, you know, what makes it so good. The 12-frame projectile, amazing amplifier with an amazing crushing blow. Now, this would give her the option to summon the turret, and the turret can shoot straight, can jump and shoot, can do a mortar, which is like an arcing mid, and this grab move, which is, I don't believe it's a command grab. I think they can block it. Yeah, it's an overhead. It's an overhead. Now, there's more to it. You can also detonate it. I'm not sure what that would do unless you were trying to kind of like keep them away from you, or like maybe in the corner. Like maybe if you have them, maybe if you like, let's say you have the turret out and then you make it blow itself up, and then, you know, stuff like that maybe. But generally speaking, you would always be able to send them full screen. You know, let's say you do a generic Sonya combo. I mean, I'm not a Sonya player, so I don't really know what she'd do as much, or like what knocks them full screen. Okay, back 4-2, that's the one. That's what I'm looking for. So and then knock them down, and then cool the turret. Obviously, you'd need screen distance, so maybe I should turn her around. Oh, excuse me. And you send them away. Not that this would be a guaranteed setup, but, you know, knock them away, get distance, and then start, you know, shooting this. Yeah, that's a mid as well, so they can't crouch that one and maybe make a duck. Oh, so it says mid, but it actually can be ducked. Okay, good. It would pretty much be the low then. The low would be the one you'd use. So it'd pretty much be summon turret, low shot, ring, you know, ring, amp, low shot, mortar. Mortar goes pretty far. They all do about 6% by themselves. We have to remember that, like, if she goes to shoot with the turret, you know, it doesn't just do it. She can't block. So, for example, if she has the turret out, right? Let me show you. If I, oops, hang on a minute. I want to control her If I control Cassie and make Sonya, let's make her go this, and make her go this into the ground one, or the mortar. Let's make her do the mortar, so, okay. Right, so she still has to block whatever you do. You know, if I make her summon, ring, and then shoot, yeah. So she is punishable during the animation. So it's not like she just goes summon turret, 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 turret. Like, she is unsafe while she makes it shoot. So if she makes it go for a low shot, that's a free jump in. If she makes it go for the arcing shot, you might be able to you know, trade out with it. If she goes for the mortar and you're on the ground, it might go over your head. You know, it's not going to be a case of her just calling it and endlessly shooting things, because if someone just wants to do that and only that, you are going to get a lot of free jump-ins on her. The question is whether it's something you can react to, whether it's something that does a lot of chip damage. Maybe you do it more for the chip, kind of Deadshot style. Who knows? It would definitely make her zone in-game scarier, which is a terrifying thought. But the question is how much counterplay there would be to it, right? Also, the fact that, you know, something I've seen before that she can do, which is quite scary, is if you go for the mortar, or you go for the turret, and you make it jump at them, I believe you can make it plus, I think? Or am I thinking of the explosion? I'm thinking of one of them. If I make her block. I need to make her block everything. Okay, so no, not at all. I'm thinking of something else. If you set up the detonation, it will kind of force them to sit there and block. But we'll see. Does the grab track you? It goes a set distance. It goes a set distance. So if they're not in that range, it won't. Minus 300. I think it might be, because it looks pretty unsafe. Let me double check. I'll get the frame later up to show. Let's have a look. I'll do it from... So I can't move for a while, but I think there's a lot of blocks done to it. So I think it just varies on where they are, really. But I don't see why you would send it out regularly when they're that close. So that's it for Sonya. I feel like I don't really need to show anything else about that. Cassie, I wasn't too sure about based on the moves that she had left, but I can definitely see this being something we might have the chance to. So the big thing is this actually is the mobility. This is a really good mobility tool that gives her pretty much a big jump. She can do jump normals out of this, and it doesn't cost her any resources. So it gives her the ability to kind of like create distance, to create space, which would work really well in conjunction with this energy bounce, which is this kind of like, you know, projectile game. This doesn't hurt them until it hits the floor. So I don't believe there is a hitbox on them through. Yeah, so this only works when it hits the floor. The bullet version of this hits them when they're standing up. So it could be the bullet, it could be the energy. But this would give her the kind of like classic glow kick, which this version will counter. It will crushing blow if it's counter hit. So it would give her a nice ender again, you know, which would be quite nice. Not that that's really too important, but again, this would end, the glow kick ends full screen. So the glow kick would push full screen, which would then give you the chance to kind of, you know, set up this alongside your kind of universal projectiles. You'd be really good at kind of closing the distance, jumping over things, you know, increasing the distance from a distance. This is quite a flashy version of Cassie. The big problem it would have, though, is no combos really whatsoever. She doesn't have the stunning effect of the bubble. She doesn't have the launching of kneecapping. So she would be seriously suffering for kind of consistent big damage outside of crushing blows, kind of outside the corner. That's really would be her kind of best bet for anything of any value. But she would have like really strong neutral with mobility, the ability to kind of jump over things from a crazy distance that most kind of can't. But she would have like, you know, increased mobility, increased kind of like, you know, wacky projectiles, and the utility of whiff punishing with glow kick, you know, good crushing blow. At the cost of consistent damage everywhere else. Crushing blows. She gets crushing blow off of the glow kick, off of obviously her gunshots, which isn't super practical, ballbuster, and she would still have the string crushing blow that we've seen. So she would still have crushing blows. Crushing blows would be a big source of her damage, but she would lose traditional standing damage as much. Outside of this, you know, this would kind of be her real. She'd have to really start fishing for this, and we know that's not really something you see too much. But that's it for these two characters. Let's move on to the next two.